All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vays for Thursday, October 22nd. Wow, time really flies. October is almost over. Here comes Halloween, which has now become a global holiday, not just an American holiday, because no matter where I am in the world on Halloween, there's certainly no less creativity when it comes to costumes and partying, though this year is going to be different, more different than any other year. I'm hearing that many states in the US are telling their families not to get together for Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is insane. But hey, let's stick, maybe we'll add politics at the end. All right, let's go to charts. I mean, lots of crazy stuff's going on. We have not done a news show in a while. I do need to talk to Jimmy and get his thoughts on the whole PayPal and crypto situation, which so far on its surface seems like silly. It's I mean, I should save my comments for later, but if you guys want to take a trip down memory lane, please, I don't have this in the video description. If you scroll up to live chat, I put a link to this, or you can Google. I mean, I found this article by Googling Tone Vays and the word Braintree. It was just the easiest search for me to do. And there was an article on Cointelegraph. I wrote half this article. Ian DiMartino published the article, but it was him and I debating what happens if PayPal adopts Bitcoin, because Braintree is or was, I don't know what it is now, I haven't paid attention to it. It was a subsidiary of PayPal that was very interested in adding Bitcoin usability into the platform, which created this giant buzz of news back in September of 2014 about PayPal adopting Bitcoin. So the news of PayPal adopting Bitcoin isn't new. I mean, it's a repeat of 6 years ago, little 6 years plus a month. And him and I debated this in text on email for the purposes of a debate style article. And then since I'm lazy and he's the better writer, because my English is absolutely terrible, being a full immigrant, so he published it, so it's not going to be under me, it's going to be under him. And read this over, and I actually made the argument that PayPal getting involved in Bitcoin transactions would actually put a lot of selling pressure on Bitcoin, creating downwards pricing pressure, causing the price of Bitcoin to go down, not up. And that was the argument I made in 2014. I fully stand by that argument. And PayPal still have not done what we debated in this article. So I really thought that PayPal, I'm always, well, what's the right way to say it here? A lot of this news comes out and I use logical reasoning as to what PayPal should do in the world of Bitcoin. And then I am instantly corrected that PayPal isn't doing anything like that, and they are doing something completely stupid. So what do I say to that? So there are multiple, I don't even know where to start. Like, of all the things PayPal should be doing with Bitcoin, what they're actually doing with Bitcoin is totally meaningless and borderline useless. So all they're doing is they're allowing people to buy Bitcoin from them, and they store it for you. You can't move it anywhere. So where is the innovation? What are they doing? There is absolutely nothing that PayPal is offering that isn't already offered by a dozen other places, which seems kind of dumb. This is this whole follow the leader mentality. Just do what they do, and maybe you can out advertise them, or maybe you have more users. No creativity, no innovation, nothing. Now, PayPal has a giant network of moving money around the world, especially they're dominating the US. Hell, even I use PayPal through my website. So, and I hate PayPal, and I'm using it. So they're dominating the transactional business. They are Roger Vere's dream, the transactional currency. And they are not utilizing what they actually know. And all they're doing is doing exactly what Coinbase has been doing for a decade, allowing you to buy Bitcoin. And Coinbase is way ahead of them because they're allowing you to take it off their exchange. And PayPal is not even doing that. So it's just, I don't know what to say to that. There's nothing interesting there. Is it going to create buzz for Bitcoin? Sure. Are more people going to see Bitcoin and start thinking about it and have a thought in their head, maybe I should buy Bitcoin? Sure. Are some of them going to buy it from PayPal? Probably. But where is the innovation? Where is initiative? And it's non-existent. So it's really a non-news from a technological and an innovation perspective, but it is hype news. That could drive the price, a speculation of Bitcoin higher. It might put, but that's the thing. People aren't really getting the Bitcoin. PayPal is going to hold it for you. It centralizes Bitcoin more. I don't really care for this news because they're not actually doing anything useful. They're just doing the same thing you could have done with a dozen other companies for the last decade. Okay. So the PayPal news is over. Let's go to the price. The weekly chart is straight up bullish. There is nothing I can say other than we're bullish. We are above all the moving averages. They are all rising. They are all above each other in sequence. We have broken the prior swing high. We still have a few days to go to officially close above these highs. I am anticipating us to close above 12,000 at this point. I'm not going to assume we're going to pull back because the weekly chart is full-blown bullish. A weekly close at current price gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the seventh highest close in the history of Bitcoin. And we can break two more of those. If we close above, let's say 14,000. If we close above 14,000, it will be 1, 2, look, you know what? If we close above $14,250, it will be the fourth highest close in Bitcoin's weekly history. And that is absolutely incredible. Incredible. Okay. So the weekly chart is fully bullish. There's nothing else I can say. We haven't looked at Lucid SARS in a while. I never programmed the tone Vays SARS. I know I promised to get moving on that. And it's bullish. Bitcoin is bullish to me on all metrics. I don't see anything that should slow it down. Sure, we're a little overbought on the RSI, but not even in overbought territory yet. And the MACD is clean and the CMF is clean. We can look at other metrics, but I don't think there is a need. I remain fully bullish on a weekly timescale. So here's the daily chart. Should probably turn on the daily chart is fully bullish as well. This was my potential concern line. So I said yesterday when I was doing this podcast, I wanted to get a guest on for today, but I guess I texted one of my friends real late, never saw the message. So we'll see, maybe next time. So yesterday, I really thought that we topped for the day at 12.8. Clearly, I was very wrong, and we went all the way to 13.250. But I also said that my concern level for the day would go a lot higher, like on that candle. This is a very bullish candle. Right now, as long as Bitcoin remains above, I say as long as it remains above 12,000 for the week, we're bullish. We're a little overextended here. That was a massive day. That was almost a $1,500 day from the open to the high was $1,300 for 11%. That is incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Back in 2017, when we were getting these $1,000 days, it was literally leading to the end of the bull market. Now we're kicking off another bull market with $1,000 days. That is incredible. This could lead to a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 days in the future. How soon? Maybe a little bit later than people expect, but they're coming. So on the MRI, we have plenty of room. We have at least, through the weekend for more upside. And I am usually bullish for Bitcoin over the weekend, at least on Saturdays. And today is already Thursday. As long as if we can get another daily high close, as long as we can close above yesterday's close, we remain bullish going into Friday. And I'm always bullish going into Saturdays. So I can easily see Bitcoin pushing for that 14,000 into early next week. I don't see what would stop it. MRI is fully bullish. The green stars tell me that we're in bullish trends. Here. It's been a nice ride from the breakout of this triangle and the break of this moving average. This was your main resistance. Then we took out the prior swing high and off we went. The consolidation was actually very good and very healthy. Also very textbook. We have an MRI top, a 1 to 4 candle correction, and now we enter the extension phases, and they have a long way to go. The extension phases have weeks to go. I just don't see any issues here. Fully bullish on a daily time scale. So the 4-hour time scale, this is where I thought Bitcoin would take a little break. We had this right here, this MRI top with a reversal candle on a 4-hour chart being preceded by extension C. So I fully anticipated for us to pull back a little bit to that 12.5, maybe 12.4 area, taking a half a day to a day pullback before more upside, because the higher level timeframes of daily and weekly were very bullish. That didn't happen, and the following candle went straight up, then consolidated. So if you look at based on the closing basis, which is more important, closing is always more important than swing highs. If I draw a best fit horizontal channel, we took a little bit of a breather here. I mean, on a close is something like that. You can even tighten it up if you want to use candle close. And then we broke out of this horizontal channel just on a 4-hour time frame with a green star with another trend to the upside. So I know we have a little bit of a pullback right here. Probably has to do with the weak stock market and the weak gold price, which we will look at in a minute. And I still think we're bullish here, even on a 4-hour time frame. We have started a new trend to the upside. We are still in extensions from here. Well, this one kind of ended here, but we have new ones right there. So we do have extensions across the board here. And I'm now bullish the 4-hour time frame as well. What about the 1-hour time frame? So the 1-hour time frame was in line with a 4-hour time frame for a potential top at $12,800, which were the reasons why I felt that Bitcoin had topped yesterday at 12.8 and was going to take a half a day to maybe a day and a half breather. Here is the top based on a 1-hour chart, and this was fully in line. This is yesterday, and this was fully in line with the 4-hour top, but the higher time frames were bullish. And if I was to short on this hour, this is the 1500 hour on October 21st, and the 4-hour chart, if I go back there, this is also October 21st, the 1200 hours. So the third hour of this candle was a combination of a 4-hour top and a 1-hour top. So if I was, short-term trading this and I was crazy enough to short Bitcoin, how much money would I have lost? Well, the best time for me to short probably would have been as this candle is beginning. So my short would have been as of this blue line. This would have been my short play because I'm already on a 4-hour top and I'm not good enough to pick the top. So this is a reasonable place because based on a 4-hour time frame, I'm going short towards the end of this candle as it's dropping. So this would have been my short play because I would have used the hourly charts to help me time the short play. And let's go back to the hourly chart. If that is my short opportunity, my stop loss, my original stop loss is either going to be above the highs of these candles. I'm going to get rid of that channel because I don't really need it anymore. It would have been either above the tops of these candles or since Bitcoin is volatile, it would have been above the swing high. Now, in my personal trading, one of the things that I teach is I hate turning winning trades into losing trades. However, in order for me to consider my trade a winning trade to be scared to lose money on, I would need this thing to move approximately $150 in my favor before setting a break-even stop, which it did not do. It came up just shy. Here's that 145 zone. So this also means I would not have moved my stop loss to break even. And this candle completely scares me. Now, even if I had my stop loss all the way up here, there's a high probability I would have exited my short trade the moment the green star showed up. And when does the green star show up? Well, based on my parameters, and those that have access to this indicator should have access to the video that explains it. My star is, I have the simplest parameter set. It has to break the prior candle's high in a bullish trend of the MRI. So that means it took place on this candle. So if I turn on display numbers, you'll probably see this as a green 2 going above a green 1, like I used to preach back in the day, once they load. And the moment this green star shows up, it creates a big problem for my trade. So even if I had a stop loss all the way up there, I have to reconsider my stop loss and get out of my trade as the green star shows up on a green 2 going above a green 1, and that's my parameter for giving me that star. Here it's a 3 above a 2 because the 2 never went above a 1, so it's a 3 above a 2. And right here is where I exit that trade, and here is my loss. My loss is $75 on the spot price of Bitcoin. Now, it's up to you how much you want to leverage this. If you didn't leverage at all and you traded one Bitcoin, you lost $75, which is not a big deal. But if you leveraged it 10 to 1, you lost $750 on every single Bitcoin that you traded as the underlying. So it's up to you how you trade. But that is how I would have ended up losing money on this trade because I would not be going long. Now, would I consider going long on this candle as my short stop loss gets hit? The answer is maybe, but unlikely. And that's because if you watch my prior podcasts, I said this is not the time I want to chase the price. I did buy back into GBTC earlier, but this is not where I enter trades. I understand that they're bullish. Like the time to enter the trades was here, ideally before that. But in the current swing, in the current MRI trend, the time to go long was on this green star, or if you slept through it, the following candle. The time to go long is not right now, even though on a weekly scale, you are still clean. But on a weekly scale, the time to go long was also not last night. The time to go long was the week of when we had the same green star breaking above prior swing high on October 5th, or when we were breaking this Fibonacci line and approaching the prior swing highs. This was the time. So this was the area to go long right here. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna move this thing. Damn it. this was the area to go long. I know in hindsight it sounds easy, but this is what TA was telling you. This right here is not the time to go long. Could it be a profitable trade as it goes to 14,000? Yes. Could it be a profitable trade as it goes to 20,000 next week? Yes, it can. But this is not where I go long if I wasn't long already. This is where I consider taking a little bit of tiny profit because of the 4-hour and a 1-hour tops. However, if I did take some of that profit and I was still mostly long, this is where I would consider putting that profit back in. But that's not necessarily a chase. I would also raise my stop loss if I did that. So I don't know how helpful I could be right now by telling you that this is not when I would FOMO. But at the same time, you guys know the deal. If you don't have any Bitcoin, the best time to buy it was yesterday, even at the very top. Even at the very top, if you don't have any. So you got to separate, are you a short-term trader or are you a long-term investor? Okay, so if you are a long-term investor, the best time to buy was yesterday. The best time to buy, if you're a long-term investor, you shouldn't even be worried if you bought at exactly 14 up there or even all the way up there. Like, so what? You're a long-term hodler and you understand what Bitcoin is. So even if you bought at 19,300, you should not be, should feel a little bit silly, but you'll be fine. Just like I had friends that ended up buying Bitcoin at literally $12,000, like $1,100 in December of 2013. I had friends that did that, good friends of mine. And you know what the dumbest thing they did was? And I told him not to do it. You know what the dumbest thing he did? It wasn't buying it here. The dumbest thing he did was selling it over here at 16 or 1700 when he was finally in profit after waiting for 4 years. That was dumber. That was sillier. That was the dumber decision, was to sell at 16, not buying at 12. Same thing here. Same thing here. The dumber decision would be selling at 20, not buying at 20. Because when we get to that 20, we're going to break out, and we're going to break out with a vengeance. Okay? So you got to separate. Are you a short-term trader or are you a long-term hodler? And hopefully this channel educates you on both. And the problem that I tend to have is you have people that are long-term investors upset about my views on short-term trading. And then you have short-term traders upset at my views on long-term investing. Hence the 2-year tone Vays being a bear on a hodl position. Doesn't mean you have to sell, just means you have to be aware that a 2-year bear market's coming, which it did between 2020 and 2018, January 2018 and March 2020. Over 2 years even. Okay, let's move on. So here's your 1-hour chart. What is the 1-hour chart telling me now? Well, right now, the 1-hour chart is telling me exactly the same thing. It told me yesterday at 1500, looks like US New York time, based on UTC -4. And right here, we have a warning arrow. We're not getting the MRI arrow because at no point this hour, we traded above this candle. So we're probably not going to get our MRI top, but that's okay. We had the warning top. We did have bullish trend here, bullish trend here. Now this bullish trend, so here's one more. So the same exact reasoning I just explained. Say I went long because I saw the green star. The green star shows up right here on this green line. So say I go long on that. This time around, where is my stop loss? My stop loss will probably be the swing low. That could be either the price swing low, blue, or the closing price swing low. It's really up to you. It's really up to you, sir. Let's say we go generous. That's the stop loss. How much am I risking? I am risking $190. Let's say 200. Okay, 1.5%. But this time around, in the next 2 hours, we actually went up more than $200. So the moment we go up more than $200, I am now earning more than I'm risking. What do I do in this situation? I set a break-even stop loss. Now, we went significantly higher. We doubled my risk, almost doubled my risk. Would I have moved my stop loss to the bottom of that candle, middle of that candle? The answer is I don't know. Sorry, guys, I had to sneeze. Would I have moved my stop loss up? I don't know, but the point is it's irrelevant whether I would have moved it up or whether you would have moved it up. The point is that had I taken the long trade off of this star, I would not have lost money in this trade because I would have been stopped out at worst at break even, possibly at the bottom of that candle, possibly at the opening of that candle, or possibly in the middle of that candle, a little under the middle of that candle. Now, if I did not take this exit up here, it's very likely I am panicking somewhere right at the low. And this is why I do what I do, because right here, this is concerning. When we're printing this point and when we're printing this point, I would panic. And now I would sell my position, take a dumb loss, feel like an idiot, and feel like an idiot even more right now, because not only would I not have lost money, I would be up on my trade if I did not panic sell. Because I guarantee you, if I had taken a 1 hour candle long trade off of the green star and I did not move my stop loss, I would have left it right there, and I would have probably and if I would have left it originally, I would have got away with it. But there is a high probability I would have panic sold and now felt like an idiot. And that's why I move my stop losses to break even once I am earning more than I'm risking. And this is one of the things I talk about extensively and in detail. If you go to tonevays.com, let me get the website. If you go to tonevays.com and you go to on-demand videos, the risk and position management, this is where we discuss these strategies and how much to risk on your positions. That's what this webinar is all about. And there is a 25% discount if you buy it together with technical analysis webinar. Okay, so there's the plug. All right, I think we spent enough time on that. So what am I thinking now? Now it's very, very simple. If this is my line, this is the line in the sand. We go below this line, I think we're going to pull back down to 12.4, 12.5. If we go below 12.7, there's a very high probability we're going to go all the way down to this, to back test this area. We're talking low 12,000s. And on the flip side, if we can close above 13,000, let's round. If we can close an hour above 13,000 for the second highest hourly close this year, I would be incredibly bullish, incredibly bullish. So this is my it's my bullish line. The moment an hourly candle closes above it. Now, in a perfect world, we would do this afternoon. We had a top. Let's get a little correction in. Let's get a green 1 candle, and then we get a green star. If we can get this candle right here, this green star candle, breaking this blue line with a green star, I become very, very, very bullish. Very bullish. Okay. Let's go to someone pointed out the 15-minute chart. It looks cool, but so here's a nice breakout on a 15-minute chart, but keep an eye at the very top here. It was one of the people from my Telegram group, which you can only get into by having access to the indicator, by the way. I don't know why. It's taking a little while to load. We have a lot of code in the indicator. Anyway, when it loads, you'll see a perfect MRI top right there. Right at the high. Oh, wasn't perfect. Sorry. Maybe on a different exchange it was. This is Bitstamp. On other exchanges, it was perfect right at the top. And but I would not have been using the 15-minute candle, so I would not have caught it. I normally like the 10-minute candle. I'm not a huge fan of the 15. I don't know what the 10-minute candle has. We'll look at it together. Nothing. Oh man, I should have texted Joe Sass. See, he was a big fan of the 15-minute candle. All right. Bitcoin, sorry, GBTC premium. It is back to 15, which is not bad. Not bad, but I don't like to chase. I don't like to chase. So I'm 50-50 on GBTC right now. Bitcoin dominance is rising. That's good, but it's still grossly low for Bitcoin to get any real traction in the world. Gold took a nosedive, very unexpected. I don't know what the news is. I have no idea. I'm looking at the chart, and as bullish as I was yesterday, or as bullish as I would have been coming in, this is it. If gold doesn't pull all the way back up today, I am taking my gold bullishness off the table. I was gold bullish up until this morning, I guess, but this drop, if we close below this little trend line, I think gold has some downside to go, which is interesting because Bitcoin is pumping. So let's look at the S&P. S&P is not doing well. So Bitcoin is somewhat decoupling from the S&P. However, if the S&P continues to drag, it's possible that Bitcoin will slow its roll a little bit. I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to crash, but Bitcoin's going to slow its roll, and it might, pull back to 12, might hang in between 12 and 13. It'll just hang out there. All right, I'm going to look at your live chat in a second. Yeah, I'm still not concerned about the stock market. It's still just pulling back slowly. I'm not concerned. This was way more concerning back here when we crashed so quickly. And that's it. I got questions. Let me see. Oh, I talked about PayPal already. Yeah, thank you, Patrick, for your awesome comments. Yeah, anyone that had access to the prior indicator called TI has access to the prior indicator called MRI. And when you got access to the MRI, you should have gotten access to videos, to a playlist of videos. And I've added the MRI video to that playlist. So if you go back to your email that you got when you got access to the MRI, and there is a link to an educational playlist, go back to that playlist and you will have a video, like a 5-hour video educating you about the MRI. How is the miner profitability looking now? Good question. I don't know. Let's go take a look. I haven't looked at the miner profitability in a long time. Yeah, I don't know why it does that to me. Like, I can't, it doesn't. There it is. Miner revenue. There it is. It's not It's doing okay. I always expected us to come back to this line. So when we fell down to this line, Bitcoin was 3,000. So this is 6,000. So Bitcoin would have to fall down to $6,000 to reach this line. That feels very, very unlikely. Very unlikely. So here we are. I don't see Bitcoin 6,000. I don't. That's what we would need to come back to reset miner profitability. So not much to say on this. It's looking fairly good. If we can break this resistance line, we'll be looking real good. Man, this was a gorgeous breakout. Remember, this was May 2017. I mentioned this earlier. This is when people should not be selling their Bitcoin. And yeah, once we get back there, and I think this will take a while. I think we may not get here until 2022. So here's what this means. Getting back to this profitability, this was 20,000 when we were mining 12 Bitcoin. So getting back to this line, do you know what this means? Getting back to this orange line means one Bitcoin is $40,000. That's what it means. One Bitcoin is $40,000. That's what it means to get back to this line. And I don't think that, I think that would be a challenge for 2021. I think $40,000 a Bitcoin in 2021 is possible, but 2022 is just a little more likely. Thank you for the super chat question. Did you take the GoPro trade from months ago? The answer is yes, but I exited too early. I did take the GoPro trade. Tesla is holding up well, by the way. If we go to GoPro, so I did take the GoPro trade. I believe I did it off of a weekly 9. I did take the GoPro trade. I took it near the lows, but I was out fairly early. I got in based on weekly charts, and I should have stayed with the trade based on weekly charts. I got in around, I don't know, like $2.50. I got in pretty damn good. But now if you go back to the daily chart, and it was over here. It was, no, wait, I'm sorry. It was, where was it? I did it a while ago. Where was that MRI bottom? Yeah, it was back in April. So it was right after COVID started. So I took the trade in early April. So now if we go to the daily chart and I go to early April. Right. So I took it around here, but I exited over here. So I took the trade based on this weekly buying opportunity, but for some reason I took my profit right here. Now it wasn't a bad trade. I got in somewhere like 260, something like this, and I got out like I didn't like this candle. So I got out around here. So that was a 30% gain, nothing to sneeze at. But, and after that, it just, I missed the breakout. I got busy. And then this is a top, and then we kept going higher, and I just never got back in. And if I would have held it based on a weekly scale, I got in based on a weekly chart, and all I had to do was stay with the weekly trend. I got in over here because of a weekly entry. And all I had to do was wait until a weekly exit, which means I would have exited right here for an 80% gain instead of a 30% gain, and I would have felt better about myself. So I took the trade, but it was disappointing, to answer your question. And it's, look, it's doing amazing. Man, all I did was talk about GoPro like all the way down. I finally took a trade and I got out way too early. Okay, more questions. Tone, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are we to decoupling from stocks? 7? Google. Oh, the DOJ lawsuit. I haven't even read about that one. there's so many lawsuits right now by the DOJ. It's insane. So Google. I mean, it doesn't. That looks like no one gives a shit. Looks bullish to me. I mean, you can't even tell that there was any kind of a case. Look, if the U.S. I mean, if the U.S. laws start really pushing these tech companies, they will join Elon Musk, build a rocket, and offer these products from the moon. They will do it. They're tech companies. They can work from anywhere. Google can probably buy a country and have their own military. They're not exactly West India Company out of the Netherlands in early 1700s, late 1600s, which had a bigger navy than any country in the world, which is why multiple countries had to join together to take them down. But Google will move. They will get out of the US if they want to. I don't really know what happens to all the fines that they get. I know the SEC has a lot of fines, but God knows how much of it collects. I think they're lucky if they can collect 10 to 20% on all the fines that the SEC does. What happens to that money? I think, if my best guess, SEC collects 20% of their fines and maybe 1%. Well, not 1% of what they collect, but maybe 1% out of the 20% goes to some victims, and the rest they just keep. That's just my opinion. I have no idea what happens to the money. All right, Tone, when you measure ascending triangle targets, do you measure percentages or price on a log chart? For reference, ascending triangle, Bitcoin monthly log chart, traditional candlesticks. Okay, let's go take a look. That's a very good question. That is an excellent, excellent question. So let's, I'm going to drop these Fibonacci lines because I don't think they're going to be that relevant. I think I can drop them. I just want to clean this up. Look, the price of Bitcoin is certainly outpacing where I thought we would be, which is good. Let's drop the Lucid SARs. Let's just clean this up as much as we can. I guess this trend line's been broken. Well, this is now no good. I have to lower this trend line. Like, yay. Oh, that's good. Can I? Not really. I can do this. Cheating a little bit. I mean, look, this was COVID. I can let this slide. It was basically like, the COVID scare. So this is a decent trend line now. I don't want to delete these, but I do want to draw my triangle. So this is a log chart. So if we start drawing the triangle on a log chart, I'm going to be most conservative. it looks like we're about to break out over here. I need to touch that other point. So I have to use the top of that candle and a straight line like that. That's my triangle. So the question is specific to how do you measure the target, percentage or price? It's whichever makes the most logical sense. So I'm looking at this triangle and it's certainly bullish. I have to be able to draw this as a straight line. Hold on. See, it's hard to draw this as a straight line. Okay, I think that's as straight as I'm going to get it. Okay. So, and this triangle definitely needs to be green because it's bullish as hell. Whoa, way too green. Okay. I wish I can get rid of these other lines because they're in the way. Now, in a perfect world, we get one more pullback. Get one more pullback to 10,500. What do the moving averages say? Ooh. One more pullback to 10.5. It doesn't feel like it'll do it, but listen, this didn't feel like it's going to go all the way down either. Like we can do it on a wick. I mean, this is about 9, but over here it's about 10.5. So I would love for this to consolidate. We need one more touch. We need a third touch. We have 1, 2, and we have 1, 2. This is close to a 3, but then we need a pullback. And now it creates a beautiful trade. Now, if we look at this, this is, how much is that? Wow, that is $12,000 and an 87% drop. So I say this is a $12,000 target off the triangle. That's $12,000. Whoa, too far. Right there. 87% to the upside. $12,000 move. That's what I'm looking at. That's my target. Now, this is log scale, of course. That's log scale. If I change that to, if I take the log scale off, the triangle looks different. But our target should be the same. Well, target could be bigger, actually. Here's the, wow. Here's the triangle. Triangle becomes much bigger. See that? Way more room, potential for a way later breakout. Not May 2021, but all the way into 2022. Now, what about the target? Target's going to be bigger. So you see how, wow, that's almost like 100%. Jesus. So that's $14,000 target. Now, not a big difference. But if we delay the breakout, all we do is make the target bigger. And that's 28,000. Say 30,000 for rounding purposes. But it's happening later. So it's up to you how you draw it. The end result is similar. You're delaying the breakout, but at the same time, you're making a slightly bigger target. But you also open it up for more potential downside to hit the bottom. In order for this triangle to be like legit, you need one more touch at 14. You need one more pullback to probably closer to 10. And then a consolidation into the top of the triangle. But definitely something to keep an eye on. I prefer the log version. I'm going to delete this, but because I don't want to, I'll redraw it another time, but I prefer the log version. Okay. Do you see it touching the 200-week moving average one more time? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. No, I don't. Well, according to the triangle. Oh, wait. Sorry, that's the daily. This is the weekly. I don't. I not based on the price. I really don't. It would be a catastrophe. Going back to the 200-day moving average now would be as bad as going back to the 200-day moving average the last time. Now, if it happens, holy shit, because I didn't get to sell the condo back in March, mostly because the COVID insanity. But I don't know, maybe I should sell the condo now and prepare, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really felt that it would happen here. Had we gotten rejected by this trend line, I was fully anticipating one more test of the 200-week moving average. But with the break above the trend line and now the break of prior swing high, I honestly don't see a touch of the 200-week moving average until after a new all-time high. I don't see it. Is it possible? Of course it's possible, and it would really set us up for some ridiculous breakouts in the future, but I don't see it happening. Whoa, a lot of questions. Are you expecting a healthy pullback? And if so, to where? Looking for a good place for a hodler to get in. I don't. I'm not seeing a pullback right now. It's what I just said about the 1-hour chart. Wait, no, it's the 10-minute chart. I don't want 10-minute chart. I want a 1-hour chart. Where's the 1-hour chart? If we close a 1-hour candle above 13,000, I'm back to being bullish. So I'm not seeing any pullbacks right now. The charts are bullish across all time frames. 1 hour still has, not much. I don't know, $100 to go maybe, but all the other ones, yeah, I mean, we're close to being bullish across all time frames from 1 hour all the way to the monthly. So I'm not anticipating any pullbacks right now. I mean, we talked about PLTR, and I said it was too late to get in because I didn't know it existed, but I can look at it, see if it changed. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, wrong company. That's not the one I was thinking of. I don't know what this is. It doesn't look good. I wouldn't buy this. Looks like a descending triangle ready to collapse. You know my rules on IPOs. You wait for a 50% correction most of the time. So if the opening price was here, a 50% correction is a buying opportunity. Jesus. At $5. However, if you treat the opening high, your buying opportunity is 570. So I wouldn't touch this. I think it's very bearish, especially if it goes below this blue line at $9. So I don't know what this is, but I would not be interested right now. Tone, do you think we are seeing the beginning of decoupling? Everyone keeps asking me about decoupling. No, I don't see it as a big decoupling. The stock market is very focused on the election. Bitcoin is not really focused on the election. So my view is this. I've said this even months ago. I don't see Bitcoin correcting hard if the stock market corrects hard, but I still see Bitcoin being, I guess, held back if the stock market corrects hard. But if the stock market like flies to the upside, Bitcoin will fly to the upside. So I see a very strong positive correlation with the stock market when the stock market is rising. But I see a no correlation scenario with the stock market dropping. So it's hard to explain what that means. So some people could consider it decoupling, and some people could consider it still correlated, because I guarantee you that if, well, I can't guarantee anything, but if the stock market all of a sudden reverses, and between now and the rest of the year, the stock market goes from 3,400 to 4,000, Bitcoin is going to fly to 20,000. So all of a sudden, the correlation is going to come back. But while the S&P 500 is pulling back or dropping, Bitcoin is just uncorrelated to the market. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin would rise when the stock market's falling. That's a negative correlation. I feel that right now, Bitcoin is only positively correlated with the stock market if the stock market is rising, because everything is a result of government regulation and government money printing and the continued destruction of every single business known to man. So like full-blown movement into socialism and fascism and government-controlled businesses, from small businesses to the big ones. That's how I see it. So if the stock market rises, Bitcoin will fly to the moon. But if the stock market falls, Bitcoin will just be uncorrelated. So it can rise or fall based on its own dynamic. All right, guys, this video has gone pretty long. We're almost 1 hour in. Please support with the on-demand videos. If you're interested in the MRI indicator, there's a website for you right there in the products and services section. And if you just want to support in other ways that doesn't cost you anything extra, please check out the affiliate page of tonevays.com. All right, I think that's it. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm going to cut the screen share. And good luck trading. I'm still bullish. I just need that hourly close above 13,000. And I'm bullish across all time frames from 1 hour all the way through the monthly. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching, and see you all.